Hi everyone, welcome back to AFTV. We've lost 2-1 at Goodison Park. Another defeat, another player ratings. This one should be interesting.
Yeah,
I feel like I say that after every defeat. But let's get into it. Start with Aaron Ramsdale. Feels to me like another game where he couldn't really have done much about it, but still goals conceded. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not going to look at him for both the goals. I don't think that he could do much about it. Similar with the 2 disallowed goals. Don't think he could do much about it. He made a top save at the end because if Iwobi put that icing on the cake for Everton, you know, we're hurt as it is. We didn't need that happening.
It's a good point. Yeah, he saved us a little bit of embarrassment extra, but
yeah, good hands for a few shots. I'd say 6.
Fair enough. Let's go to Tomiyasu.
I think, you know, he had a good game overall. Physical, aerial battles, winning more than losing. I struggle with the whole, you know, seeing Saka isolated on that right-hand side. And you mentioned it in your fan cam. It seems like Tomiyasu's being told not to overlap. But anytime I see Saka there, I'm like, overlap. And it's just not happening. And I think that plays a part in Saka's poor performances recently too. I think he's being doubled up on. Again today, he's being crunched left, right and centre. I think Tomiyasu can help him more there, but I won't use it against him because I think it's tactics that stop him doing that. I'm going to say today, Tomiyasu, 5, average.
And we're saying 5's average, yeah? That's kind of middle line. You did okay, fair enough. Ben White.
Ben White had a few good blocks in the game. Put his body on the line a few times.
Not as good on the ball today, I noticed.
Yeah, we didn't see much of those marauding runs that we've become used to from him.
The long raking passes went astray, intercepted,
Yeah, so, you know, on the ball, he wasn't his usual self, let's say, or the usual Ben White we've been seeing recently. We conceded 2 goals, though. And we also conceded 2 more that was ruled out.
Is it a fault for the second at all, do you think? I can't remember. I hate watching them back. But I seem to remember both him and Xhaka not dealing with Gray. Am I remembering it right, maybe? Yeah,
I think Ben White was poor in that moment. I think he's poorer for the second. Are we talking about the second goal? Yeah. Oh, definitely then. I think, look, Demarai Gray showed what he can do with the first goal. They scored, obviously, off the crossbar. Don't let him cut in. But the next moment he cuts in. Not only cuts in on Tommy, he cuts in on Ben White too. So in essence, I think that's football 101. You know, put someone on their weaker foot. And we failed to do that, and it cost us because both times he cut in, they scored from it. Ben White, I'd say 4.
Gabriel
today, defensively, you know, he done what he usually does. He puts his body on the line, but I think on the ball he was poor today. Didn't distribute well from the back. And for the first goal, when you see Richarlison head the ball back in, Gabriel was pretty flat-footed at that time. I'm not sure if he expected Gray's shot to fly in or fly over, but it didn't. And Richarlison was quicker to the mark than he was. So I'm going to mark him down for that and say 4 as well.
Fair enough. Kieran Tierney, got about an hour under his belt, I think.
Yeah, lacking match sharpness. At the beginning, lacking match sharpness. Not the usual Tierney we've seen in terms of bursting and doing the business on that side, both defensively and offensively. But he did do some business on that side and he got our assist, and it was a great assist as well. Doing exactly that, bursting down the left, swinging it in, perfect. Odegaard finishes it. Come off about 60th minute mark. I think Tierney deserves a 6 today, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I think so too, because he was so good for that goal just before half time. Into midfield, let's go with Thomas Partey first.
Another poor one from him. Not as poor as he has been in the last few, but today was poor as well.
He's not imposing himself, is he?
Nah, I'm not seeing what I saw from him at Atletico. And the more I'm seeing this Partey, the more I'm starting to think to myself, there's players out there that suit certain managers and systems. And maybe he's one of them. We look at Saul Niguez at Chelsea as well. Saul Niguez and Partey at Atletico, beasts. Every top club would want them. But since they've come into the league, I know it's only been a few months for Saul, but Chelsea fans are contemplating left-back roles for him and whatnot. So he's not doing the business in the middle like Partey isn't. And I'm starting to put that down to maybe that Partey got the recognition because of Simeone in his system. I hope I'm wrong, but so far, not good enough. I'm going to say Partey today, 3.
Granit Xhaka comes back 2 months out, 2 training sessions, straight into the team, 90 minutes. I think he did okay, but did he do okay by the limitations we know Xhaka has? I'm interested to see what you think.
Yeah, I think okay is the word. not going to criticise him for anything. That last goal from Gray, there was a moment where Xhaka could have taken out Gomez, I believe it was, but he didn't. He's on a yellow card, and I think in that moment people understood why he didn't. But once the ball goes into the back of the net, it's he should have done it. But I'm not going to use that against him, because in that moment you don't want to get a red card. And if Xhaka got a red card today on his return, people like me would probably be banging on about it. Aside from that, I think we done okay. 60th minute, he should have come off, similar to Tierney. He's been out for a long time. He looked gassed out in the last 20-30 minutes. But overall, I'd say a 5 out of 10 average.
Yeah, he did okay, and in fact probably was one of our better players on the pitch. Let's go to the man in front of him. Martin Odegaard gets the goal, and it felt like the second half we saw a different Odegaard. Almost like, he looks to me a confidence player. When he gets that goal, he fancies himself and he knows what he can do.
Yeah, I think there was moments from Odegaard today.
Yeah, for sure.
Again, not enough, but I think there was moments, and his goal was taken very well. He had a couple efforts in the second half which were blocked well.
Ball in behind to Martinelli. I forgot about that.
Yeah, another one. So he done more in this game than he has done in his last couple. But ultimately, we couldn't get over the line. You look at statistics, we didn't create enough. He's part of that. But again, it's a bigger problem than just one player or two players. So I think Odegaard, for me, goal taken into consideration, few good moments. I'm going to say just above average 6 as well.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Bukayo Saka.
Bukayo Saka's a funny one for me, because in my honest opinion, he was poor today, but he was also not allowed to, be on the ball much without someone flying in at him.
Yeah, he got kicked today.
I think Everton done well on him. I think Godfrey should have been sent off. I don't know how he remained on the pitch, but the result is not down to that decision. We was playing poorly before that. Saka, I expect more, but again, I mentioned it with Tomiyasu. He's not getting that overlap. He's not getting that player making space for him, which makes it 10 times more difficult when you're in that position, 2-3 man up against you.
But it's not even a striker running beyond, a number 10 dragging players out. No one is moving around him, so he's having to do it by himself.
Yeah, and in the second half he created probably one of the biggest moments in the match, where he cut in the 3 players on him and ball to the back post, and Eddie Nketiah should be scoring that. And the game's probably put to bed, but it wasn't. So I'm gonna say Saka 5.
Yeah, fair enough. Martinelli.
Industry, he's all about that work rate, putting defenders under pressure, putting attackers under pressure. He's everywhere. And I think when he came off, we lost something. We lost a bit of an edge. I think Lee Judges said it as well. We lost a bit of an edge when he came off. There's just something about Martinelli that he brings that no other player brings. And it's a shame, because he's so young. And what he brings comes with experience too. I think he's quite mature for his age. If he's not on the ball, he goes to find it. Whereas we see with an Aubameyang, for example, if he doesn't get the ball, he's not really looking to find it either. So I think for me, Martinelli, he done all right without really impacting the game too much. 5.
Yeah, fair. Lacazette comes in for Aubameyang, a big call. I think most of us were happy about it. Do we regret that?
Our whole striker pool at the moment is poor, and Lacazette's a part of that. We can argue till the cows come home about Lacazette bringing more than Oba, but essentially strikers need to bring goals, and neither of them bring goals. So many times today, you look at the back line of Everton, no striker on them. Same thing happened against United. It's not just Lacazette. I mean, when Eddie's on the pitch, when Oba's on the pitch, no one's, hugging that last man looking to peel off. Today, many times, balls into the box or opportunities to break and counter. We look at where Laka is, left back, defensive mid, just in front of the defenders. And you're thinking, well, it's all good and well praising him for work rate and getting involved. But when push comes to shove and we need someone on the end of things, Lacazette doesn't bring that. Whereas Oba brings that, but he's not putting it in the net. So, we're just picking out a bunch of crap at the moment. Let's be honest, and that's a nice word for me to use. Lacazette for me, 3.
Yeah, fair. Let's go into the subs, although they've kind of escaped me. Tavares came off Tierney.
Yeah, listen, that moment cost us a goal. Again, Lee Judges mentioned it. When you're in school, you're taught, especially if you're 1-0 up and you need to kind of regroup and waste some time down the line. You throw it straight down the line. He didn't. Inter parte, pull ball back to him, a header back. It was just naivety again. I compare that moment to what Odegaard did against United in the penalty. Both naive moments that when you look back on it, when they look back on it, I'm sure 9 times out of 10 they'd be doing something different. But we just seem to be, the luck of the draw has it that it's costing us. Same way with Tavares against Liverpool, that second goal, it cost us. And I guess he's young, he's new, and with experience, hopefully he can rewrite these wrongs in the future. But it cost us today. Not good enough. Didn't have much time, half an hour or so. But I'd say down to that fact alone, that moment, I'd say 3 as well.
Yeah. And Nketiah?
He shouldn't be coming on.
Is it fair to say, I'm digging, but is it fair to say he did some bright things? I thought, you think he set up Odegaard twice. Yeah. He sets up Aubameyang at the end. Yeah. The miss is a shocker. Like, that is where you earn your money. That's what you're brought on to do. Yeah. But he did do some nice things, dare I say. Yeah,
and I was about to mention those moments, and I'd say those moments taken into account without that miss, I'd be saying maybe a 6, because he came on, he looked a bit lively, created a couple of moments, Odegaard, block shot, Aubameyang should have done better, should have scored really, and he himself should have scored, and that's what brings it down for me. Yeah. In that moment, you know, it's not, a striker's role is about putting it in the back of the net, and he didn't do that. And when push comes to shove, we're not going to replay the moments where he, you know, created a chance and praised him for it. We're going to look at the moment where he could have put us 2-0 up and he didn't. So for me, Eddie, like I said, if it wasn't for that miss, 6, but with that miss taken into account, 4.
And Aubameyang came on.
Did he? The ball was probably better off just going out for a goal kick that moment, that last kick of the game that he had, because it lacked so much conviction, it lacked so much confidence. Any composure. He could have, you know, taken a touch even, but not to get that on target is criminal. And I'm going to mention wages again, because wages matter in football, you know, especially with FFP and whatnot. Clubs can't pay more than 1, 2, 3 players over 200, 250k. They just can't do that, especially Arsenal Football Club. And the last 2 players we've decided to splash that money out on, it's gone down the drain. Ozil being the first, and now it seems like with Oba being the second. So hopefully 3rd time lucky with that. But again, Oba didn't have much time, but in that time he had a moment to salvage a point. He didn't. 3. Yeah,
fair enough. Let's go on to, what do you want to do first, ref or manager? What do you want to end it on? Let's do ref so we can get your final thoughts on the manager. Ref, we know there's a lot of big decisions today.
0. Honestly, I'm not one that always, you know, I remember Troops used to do these back in the day. Every rating for the ref was 0. You know, before the game it'd be a 0.
Yeah, and if he did well, it'd be a 1.
Yeah. For me, listen, that was a red card for Godfrey. People can argue if it's intentional or not. It's a red card, whether it's intentional or not. I believe it was intentional. Some don't. It's a red card. That's no argument. And the Tavares one as well. I forgot who it was that went in.
Yeah, Gordon went on Tavares. I think I personally that's a bit of a red. It's a strong orange.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the replay, the only thing that stopped it from being a red is a twist of the ankle. Luckily, Tavares' leg remained firm, and even though the tackle was above, you know, his ankle, it didn't look like it caused much damage, and that probably worked against Tavares. If Tavares' ankle rolls, he's on the floor in pain, ref probably goes and looks at that and gives a red card. So 0, but I'm not blaming the ref for the result.
Yeah, fair enough. Manager.
Manager. I don't think we was too against the lineup. Xhaka was a shock, but to leave him on for 90 is a joke. You took off Tierney after 60, who's been back for quite a while, but you took him off at 60. Like, Xhaka you didn't, and we saw that after 60 he wasn't the same Xhaka we saw in the first 60. You take off a winger, you bring on Eddie. Eddie's not a winger, albeit he did create some openings, and I'll give him praise for that. He's not a winger, doesn't really make sense, and when you lose the game 2-1, there is no sense to make of it. We can talk here about Pepe and whatnot, but in essence he's done that same decision 2 games in a row, and it hasn't paid dividends. So I think for Mikel Arteta, Everton away, 8 games without a win for Everton against a manager who's on his last chance saloon. I'm very disappointed. 2 for just getting a decent lineup out there.
Yeah, that's kind.
Yeah, it probably is kind, to be honest with you. But in all honesty, yeah, I could rate him a 0, I could rate him a 1, a 2. I don't think any more than a 2. But I'm just fed up, James. I'm just fed up. Give him whatever number you guys want, 0, 1 or 2. It doesn't really matter. He's not good enough, is he?
It's looking that way. Let us know in the comment section, guys. Your ratings. Interesting to hear about the ref one, but definitely interested to hear about Mikel Arteta. Where do we go from here? We're going to try and break that down throughout the week. As we look ahead to Southampton, obviously we've got all the fallout from this as well. Like, subscribe, all that. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.
This show is brought to you by Manscaped. Use the code AFTV for 20% off your order and free shipping at manscaped.com.